And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend. I'm a 10, so I pull in a can. Like Daddy, all of the Barbies is pretty. Damn, all of the Barbies.
Hey guys, welcome back to Star TV. On today's lovely episode, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how to protect yourself from men who cannot handle rejection. Right before we get into today's lovely episode, make sure you guys subscribe to Star TV where you get a new video every week. Make sure you guys like this video, drop a comment down below, and be sure to hit the bell down below and press all so you will be notified each and every time Star posts a new video. Let's get into it. So you guys, I don't know what's going on in this world. I don't know where the attack upon women is coming from, but it is so sad and it is so disheartening. Recently, there was a young girl in Brooklyn. She was coming from a party late at night. She was with her twin sister and some friends, and this gentleman attempted to, express interest in her. And then all of a sudden, I guess she wasn't interested, and he decided to take her life and to stab her sister.
Unimaginable heartbreak for a family tonight after 19-year-old twin sisters were both stabbed in Park Slope early this morning. One of the sisters tonight has succumbed to her injuries. Fox 5's Kendall Green has more on the brutal attack.
She's taking it real hard. You never expect nothing like this to happen. What are you going to do?
Alfonso Goodson is facing a level of grief he never imagined he'd feel after getting a sobering call Sunday about his granddaughter, 19-year-old Samaya Spain.
Said, Granddaddy, Samaya got stabbed and she died.
What was your reaction?
I couldn't believe it. My wife started crying and everything.
Police got the call about a stabbing around 2:20 Sunday morning after someone stabbed Samaya and her twin sister right outside of the Natural Plus bodega in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Mohammed Albar, who works at the store, watched the girls grow up.
They're very nice girls. I know the family. It's very nice. So sad to see them, one of them gone, one of them, she passed away.
A witness on scene says some guys were hanging out at the store, hitting on the group of girls who just walked in.
One of the guys had complimented the two girls that had walked in with their friends, and they said no.
The groups started going back and forth arguing before one of the men walked down the block angrily, according to witnesses.
I think what's truly sad is a lot of us women go outside and there are times where we are followed or harassed. And, our life depends on our response. So I'm going to give you guys the number one tip on how to save your life and how not to lose your life by turning down a man. Be extremely polite, no matter how unattractive they are. I know sometimes when a guy's not your type, or when you're not interested in a guy, when you're not attracted to them, it's like you just become annoyed. Like, leave me alone. What do you want? Like, you're not my type. I'm not into you. Versus when a man who you are attracted to, approaches you, you may have a softer response because you're actually interested. But listen, it doesn't matter how a man looks. If you are not interested, you don't have to give him attitude. You don't have to insult him. You don't have to become angry with him. It's time that us as women, we have to use wisdom and we have to be very smart. A lot of men nowadays, they cannot handle the word no, and they cannot handle being rejected. They cannot handle when you are not interested. So the least thing that you can do that may spare you is to be polite. You can politely say, I'm good, and keep going, or you can politely say, I'm married, or I have a boyfriend, in a very polite tone. And if he starts to become aggressive to the point where you feel that your personal space is violated and you feel that he could harm you, this is what you should do. Number 2, be willing to give your phone number or a text me number. That is one of those app numbers, either a Google Voice number or a text me now number, out to the gentleman in order to make it home alive. Some guys, if you don't give your number out, they're ready to kill you. So if you have to download Google Voice number and have a Google Voice account just in case you are placed in this situation, or just in case you find yourself in this predicament, be willing to play trick psychology. Hello, how are you? My name's such and such. take my number, you know, maybe we could hang out sometime. Sometimes you have to play trick psychology with these men. Sometimes you got to give out your number and block them later. Sometimes when they approach you, even if you're not interested, you have to be extremely nice. Don't brush them off, because you don't want to be the next victim on the news. You don't want to be a casualty. You don't want to be the woman that's sacrificed because she refused to compromise in a moment where compromising was needed. And I know a lot of women feel like, and I feel like this myself, like if I'm not interested, I shouldn't have to give you any type of number. I shouldn't have to be nice to you. I shouldn't have to waste your time or give you an explanation. But I know that if the women, the many women who had their lives taken by men because they rejected them, if these women could come back to this earth, I'm pretty sure that they would do things differently, that they will follow these tips just to make it home alive. Let's get into tip number 3. Discern the situation and look into the person's eyes and heed your intuition. Now, when I say discern the situation, as women, we are so gifted with the gift to be able to feel when something bad is happening, to feel when a person is not right, to feel when something tragic is about to take place. And when you look into a person's eyes, you are looking deep within their soul. Look the person in their eyes. And if you feel something bad, know that your intuition is telling you that this is a situation that might escalate. So maybe I shouldn't argue with this man. Maybe I shouldn't, be mean to this man. Maybe I shouldn't be so defensive with this man. Maybe I should, dwell my feminine energy, be polite, compliment him, even if you have to compliment him and turn him around and be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna give you my number because you are really handsome. Gas him up a little bit. You do look like you make a lot of money. I could tell you get to it. And let's talk and see where it goes. Even if you have to put on a show and become the best actress possible, anything you can to make it home to your family alive. And last but not least, this is gonna be the final tip. Remember the women who have lost their lives and know that it just might be your life that depends on how you handle this man. I just want to encourage somebody out there. When you are riding the trains, when you are riding the bus, when you are walking home late at night, know that this world is not safe. This is a very cruel world. This is a very sin-infested world. The love of many has grown so cold. A lot of people don't have our best interests at heart. A lot of people are hurting and they are out to kill, steal, and destroy. And a lot of the times, the devil is using these people as vessels to take people to an untimely grave. The devil's using these people to cut short the life of the youth. Even the enemy knows the youth is our future. We are the future. And so what the devil likes to do is he likes to use people to provoke you. One wrong thing that you say may cost you your life. So if you're on the train and someone tries to provoke you, the best thing you can do is ignore them. If you're walking home late at night and someone bumps you, I know in your defense you might want to pop off, and I know there's a thin line between, being passive and standing up for yourself. But sometimes you gotta swallow your pride because you just don't know what anyone has in their purse. You don't know what anyone has in their pocket. You don't know what people are capable of. For instance, I was on the train about a month and a half ago, and I remember I was just very sick from work because I work with babies. They all have the cold and stuff like that, flu season, and I remember coughing and I was sitting down, but the way that I was coughing with my mouth closed because I was trying to hold in the cough. So I was like, I remember doing that. And there was this girl next to me. She was, those type of girls that dress like their boys. She was that type. So she was sitting next to me and she was like, cover your mouth. And she was like, cover your mouth. And like, she started yelling at me. It's 1 in the morning. I'm coming home from culinary school. And she's yelling, and she's way shorter than me. And I looked at her and I was like, I wasn't even, and then automatically, I don't know what came over me. I just didn't say nothing after that. I couldn't even get the words out because I was so shocked at how she was handling me and speaking to me. She didn't even know me. She was acting like I was coughing on her or in her direction, which was not the case. But then I thought to myself, you know what? This is a person that's angry, that's already blowing things out of proportion. And she's really been giving me the evil eye since I sat down. I didn't even finish my sentence. I just chose to be quiet and ignore her. And she was able to get off the train and go about her business. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it was a reason, you know, that I just automatically went mute. Because I know a lot of people are crazy on the train, you know, and in a moment where I could have got crazy and defended myself, who do you think you're talking to? You don't know me. You don't know what the end result could have been on that train. And then when I got off of that train, I was walking home from the bus stop. You guys would never believe. There was this guy, and he was dressed in all black. He was very feminine and flamboyant, and he had bumped me. I had my culinary bag with me. He had bumped me, and I had looked back at him because I just couldn't believe that someone would bump me that hard, especially it's 1 at night in the morning. I'm trying to get home. And so I turned around, and then he turns around, and then he starts saying, I'm going to slice your face, you know, you B-word. And at that moment, you know, I really wanted to pop off on him. I really wanted to, you know, get crazy. But then you know what? You know what I did? I kept walking. And because I kept walking, I don't know, you know, what God was saving me from. Had I turned around to argue with him, he probably would have sliced my face. He probably would have attacked me. You know, there probably would have been bloodshed. And it's all because I didn't control my mouth. You guys, even in the Bible, it says a soft answer turns away wrath. You don't have to respond to everybody. For instance, if a guy is talking to you and you're not interested, sometimes you can keep walking. That's something I do all the time. I keep walking. And people cannot argue with a woman who didn't say nothing and who did not look at them. Even if you look at them, as long as you don't say nothing and you don't give no attitude, sometimes that is the best way to escape. And last but not least, you guys, I remember it was the other day, I was going to my appointment. I was on the 12 bus in the Bronx. I was going to Pelham. And all of a sudden, I'm on the back of the bus. And there's this guy that starts screaming at this other guy. And he's telling him, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. So I turn around to look to, you know, see what's going on. And all of a sudden, this guy tells him, I'm about to shoot you in the back of the bus. And I just started thinking to myself, I'm like, oh God, you know, and where I'm sitting right next to them. Whereas if he would have shot the guy's blood would have been all over my jacket. So I don't say anything. I don't even get up to move because one, I'm from New York. I'm not going to look like I'm scared. And I know the wrong move could cost you, especially when people are angry and they're not in their right mind. So while he's threatening to shoot the guy that's sitting next to me and he has his hands in his pocket, I just remain quiet and I start praying to God in my head that God will deliver everybody on this bus from any type of premature and untimely death, and that, you know, God would just protect us and cover us and deliver us from this attack. Because, you know, I had a gut feeling something horrible was about to happen. So I started praying in my head, and a few minutes later, out of nowhere, this guy just runs off the bus. The person who threatened to shoot the other guy, he just ran off the bus and the bus took off. And I thank God in that moment for deliverance. So we hear about things like this that happen on the news, but sometimes it can be right in front of your face. And you need to know how to control your mouth, how to pray, how to use wisdom and read people. You need to know how to remove yourself from situations, and you need to know when to be quiet. I hope this video will save a life. I hope this video will change somebody's perspective out there. If you guys have ever had creepy or violent encounters with men and you're comfortable with sharing it, make sure you drop it in the comments down below so we can discuss this as a family, as a community. And shout out to 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe 1,000 of you guys are subscribed to my channel. This is a huge milestone for me. Super grateful, and cheers to many more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, Star will see you soon. Peace.